He doesn't get to make copies of everyone. He can't leak everyone's damage out.
Razor's also a level 11, which is unfortunate because so is Wisp. So, game was nice.
It's hard right now. Zenith will continue to defend and fight on for the time being. I mean, it's as long as your team's not like emotionally battered. I think Zenith's one of those teams that takes losses like this mostly in stride. They seem like a pretty kind of relaxed bunch for the most part. I mean, you have some slightly more hot-tempered players like Yamate on the team, but you know, a player like Ice, X Freedom, XY, even if the game's sort of lost, they'll play it out. They'll play out the hand and see what they can do. But I have to imagine at this point, Zenith mostly thinking about game 2 and just kind of having fun with this one.
I don't know. Maybe they're thinking about winning it. I do want to point out that
every win matters, but how do you win this?
Well, we'll wait and see. I do want to point out that
maybe they can tell us.
Era has 0 fantasy points for whatever reason, and
I really need to bind that.
XY has negative 0.1. How is that also possible? I don't know.
Okay, so it's a carry Morphling. It's 5, 1, and 2.
So you get points for 5 kills, and you lose points for that 1 death, and then you also get points for your CS. I'm not sure where the CS is going, but you have more than 0 points.
I mean, it's a little strange that the Bat Rider is only negative or 0.2 points behind the Morphling, who's 5, 1, and 2.
I know, right?
The 0
well,
and 5
they're going to
Bat.
initiate on the Era on the bot lane here. They're going to try to dump everything onto him. The relocate back out, but it gets canceled here. No, there's no relocate attempt.
Song is there, and in the end, he replicated out. So No Tail will go down with the ship here. I don't think he was needed, but he tries to secure his teammates' escape, and that's all she wrote.
Too much back rub. No Tail, I got this myself. I don't need that one.
Era's like, stop rubbing my back, man. Get off.
That sounds... Oh, God.
So, if you're Fnatic now, Trixie hasn't left the top lane for a solid 10 minutes. He just keeps on pushing that lane. Morphling pushes the bottom lane. He farms the jungle. He farms the Ancients. They'll prep for the next Roshan. Or sorry, Roshan's still up, but they can get it now. Oh, by the way, Hani has a Shivas and his bots and a cloak. I mean, these heroes still have a lot of room to grow. That's the big thing for me for Fnatic is it's not like they top off anytime soon. Yes, they lost the 96-minute game. We're only 27 minutes in. They have 70 minutes to figure this one out.
All right, okay. I mean, we say this, pretty jokingly, so, no flames intended. But also, remember the LGD int, the 30K push?
Yeah.
They also haven't hit 30K yet, so maybe they're trying to accrue some go before that big push comes.
Yeah, I think Fnatic are just playing this one safe. Every win is super important here. So you secure your 3rd win. You're 3-0 in Group A, and you've already taken down Na'Vi 2-0, one of the strongest teams in the group. Fnatic will have an inside track if they win this one out.
That confidence, I'm telling you. You 4-0 your first 2 opponents. Damn. Fnatic Dota, guys.
And can you imagine if Fnatic walks out of this group as one of the top 2 or 3 teams?
Nobody expects that, right?
I would say... like maybe 1 out of every 10 people would have predicted that at best, if that. Because you already have DK, LGD, Na'Vi. Who didn't predict those to be the top 3 teams? It's still early, though. A lot could change. It's only day 1. But it's hard not to get swept up in the hype here, because Fnatic are playing some phenomenal and very creative Dota.
Well, right now, Naga, Siren, Radiance is online, and they are going to split push every single lane. And again, I go back to what I say. Fnatic don't have the best base breaking lineup. They have Morphling, they have Weaver. These are pretty decent heroes doing so.
They've got a good sieging lineup. They don't just want to like beat their head against the tower. But I mean, look at the tower. It's actually in deny range.
Yeah. I mean, against Siege though, you have things like Dual Breath, you have Ice Path, you have Flame Break. You have enough AoE, but more importantly, Ice, you talked about his micro. He is going to be hopefully microing those illusions and hopefully slow down the bush. Yeah, look at this micro of delusion. They're going everywhere. They're riptiding away.
Yeah, he really is a fantastic micro player, and he'll stall the game for a long time. I just don't know where they're going with that stall, because even if he gets, say, a heart, the pure damage that comes out from a Timber Saw is probably enough still to kill illusions with a heart in like 2 rounds of Chakram. So these will help stall the game, but the illusions won't help you in the fights. You can get Radiance going back the other way for Fnatic. The Weaver has already picked us up anyway, so they can have a Radiance parked in each lane, and they're actually going to siege it out. They'll push this top lane now. The tower's in jeopardy. There is a glyph available. Shivas is in. Hani zipping forward. They did lasso fly. There's a BKB up, though. Now the lasso's down. BKB is available. He pops it now. He's fishing for a black hole. He settles for a Malphus. Brings down the bat. And while that's happening, the bottom lane's getting pushed in. Meanwhile, Chaos in the base. X-Freedom, low, soon to fall. He gets brought down. The Rubik bites the dust. Now Fnatic diving the fountain. 29 minutes in, the Weaver able to time-lapse out at the last second. Now Trixie going back in. Fnatic really feeling their oats right now and just going for it. I think they could just back off and take racks, and that is what they're doing. But that's not what Hani's doing. Hani's diving the fountain again. He just won't leave. That's 3 heroes dead. They did it 3v5.
Yeah, I mean...
Because Era and No-Tail weren't there. They were bottom.
Well, they were also driving the... They busy Naga, right? They busy a couple of heroes by themselves on the bot lane, so... It wasn't a 3v5. It's more like a 3v4 on the top lane, but still. GG gets called out. They know when the game's done. You're getting double rack simultaneously at top and bot lane. Fnatic out-draft? Can we say? Outlane?
I like their draft a lot better. I like their lanes a lot better. And I think it was a complete package. Outdrafted, outlaned, outplayed. I would say Fnatic beat them in every stage of the game.
Yeah. I mean,
that's impressive.
When Enigma got lifted in that patch of trees and we saw the Bat Rider coming, napalming up, 3 stack, 4 stack, I was like, oh man, this looked bad. And No-Tail just made a play. So that was the exclamation mark for me there.
Fnatic 3-0.
Yeah.
Oh, compendium check.
Yes.
I think I said. Oh, I can't remember what I said for that one.
I said no.
You said no.
I don't think any team should win by over 30K.
Well, honestly, I mean, because the thing is, if you're down 30K, normally you just GG out before then. But there's always the chance for a team to just hang on. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Game 1 to Zenith.
Yeah,
Timbersaw. Fnatic.
Timbersaw wins one. Got picked quite a bit. I think his record's 2-1 today so far for the 3 games that he's played in. But
they're looking good, and I think the big thing is just it feels like a complete package. Good drafting, good laning, good execution. And on that note, Purge, Merlini, what about this Fnatic squad?
Well, not too surprising. We thought Fnatic was going to win the set, so they start off game 1 really strong. The first cool pick strategy that I've seen so far of TI, the Morphling Wisp, something I've never seen in a pub game before, and is really smart and simple, and works so well.
I think that Razor was not that great of a pick here, simply because the heroes on Fnatic were just too mobile. Timbersaw, Timber Chain out, Morphling can just wave out or replicate, Wisp can just tether away, and Weaver can just Sakuchi away. There's so many ways to dodge it. It wasn't really a bothersome problem at all. Usually, if you're a melee hero such as Lifestealer or Sven, you really have to worry about it because you're going to lose a lot of downtime or lose a lot of uptime if you have your BKB on or your Rage, and you desperately do not want that to happen. But with Morphling, he has a lot of spell damage. Even if you take all his damage, it's not that big of a deal. And the Wisp plus Morphling was pretty cool. Harkens kind of back to CM Morph that used to be a popular lane, and people used to run it middle, and they played it very well. I'm impressed by Fnatic. Again, as LD and Lumi said, they're really well put together. They have somewhat interesting lineups, good laning. They don't make that many mistakes, and they had that one overextension where they lost to Aegis, but other than that, there aren't any WTF are you guys doing?
Yeah, that one seemed a little unlucky. It was like they waveformed in to jump on a support hero, and there were 4 heroes there ready for them, so they got a little crapped on there. But I also like the safe lane Timbersaw. I thought that was a great pick. Timbersaw is really strong once he hits level 6. He had maybe not as strong as normal because he had 2 levels of reactive armor instead of 1 or none. But
they couldn't do anything versus him.
Yeah, once you hit 6, you can. I've had experiences where I'll play an off lane versus a duel or a tri lane, and no matter how much farm I have, as soon as I hit 6, I can easily force the carry out of the lane because it's so mana efficient to throw your ulti. It's like 75 mana and you can do 200 pure damage, and that's like a free nuke.
That hero's so good.
He's really good.
He's
he
really
is. And if he snowballs like that and gets a soul booster in the bloodstone, the damage output continues. You get tanky. You got extra movement speed from the boots to travel, and I mean you're not necessarily as mobile high ground, but as long as you continue to use your ult, and you had a wisp, I mean they did use that sometimes. Morphling would be dead, and wisp would come back and be like, okay, I'll just do Timbersaw instead. I mean the whole strategy and their drafting really pulled together nicely.
They didn't even rely on Black Hole. That was the beauty of their strategy. Like they had Black Hole to fall back on in case they were worried about it, but like they just like ran away, scattered in all directions, even without Black Hole, and they just like completely destroyed them.
I barely remember Enigma at all in that game, honestly.
Yeah, it was really Morphling, Wisp, and Timber.
I mean, he ganked and all, and I'm sure the guy did a great job, but he wasn't needed for them to win that game. It was really just they won their lanes with Morphling and Timbersaw, and Weaver did a pretty good job as well, and it's like they won all 3 lanes. That's how you win games, man.
Fnatic also has like a more well-rounded lineup. They don't put all their eggs in one basket, which is also nice. And that's really important if you want a deep lineup so that you can do very well in this group stage. They're undefeated.
Yep, and I expect them to finish up the 2-0, but we'll see. The drafting is just about started, so unless you have anything else to add,
Nope.
can head it back to LD and Luminous.
Yeah, guys, we're going to take a very quick break because I need to grab a glass of water. But when we come back, we'll be live with Game 2 of Fnatic versus Zenith. Stay tuned. The International 3 group stages continue now here on Beyond the Summit. Of course, there are 3 other streams. We haven't mentioned it too much today, but if you haven't already heard, Toby, Sheever, as well as AC and Draskell are all casting, so you can check out those streams. But we're in Game 2 now. It's Fnatic versus Zenith, and Fnatic looks scary. Oh, I'm LD. He's Lumi.
Yeah, and Fnatic does look scary. I agree with that sentiment.
And on that note, Game 2, draft underway. We'll hop into it, but let's go.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen the Alchemist being picked, and to be surprised, I thought Alchemist was going to be the first top tier picker ban.
We saw Navi pick him once today as a support.
Like,
Yeah.
I imagine Zenith will play as a carry, right? Well, you never know.
We haven't cast that many. I guess this is now. Well, I guess we've cast a few Asian teams, but Rattlesnake just doesn't like Alchemist that much, and IG was picking very interesting today. So I think when we start to see more of our LGD Chinas, our DKs, we may see more Alch.
Well, we're going to see, for now, Visage and Weaver. Trixie's Weaver, he never actually seemed like he does much.
Yeah.
But he's always on that one corner of the map pushing her lane, so he's always doing something. And to be honest, I'm just missing those lineups that have 5 stuns. What happened to ever those lineups? Where we just Lina, SK, Lesh, and Storm, and just, hey, we see a hero, we're killing that goddamn hero.
I go back to a game, it was last year in the Beyond the Summit World Tour. Zenith picked Tidehunter, Darkseer, Disruptor, Enigma, and some other AoE stunner.
Okay.
And they won the game in like 20 minutes.
I'm just saying.
5-man, 5-man, 5-man. We don't see that anymore.
What happened?
It's a dead breed.
Well,
It's a dying breed anyway.
Split pushing is what happening to 5-manning. You can't...
Split pushing, mass cores, good counter push heroes. The hero pool has widened a lot since TI2. I believe there's been at least like 10 to 15 heroes added. And a lot of them are important heroes.
Well, in the Western qualifiers, around 36 to 40 hero was unplayed. So if we backtrack a little bit, that means 60 heroes are played-ish.
Yeah. There's a lot more games in TI3 than there is in the qualifiers.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good question while we watch the draft unfold, because it looks pretty standard so far. How many heroes do you predict will have been unplayed from the start of the wildcard match until the end of the grand finals of TI3?
Well, I'm going to check my compendium real fast, because that's actually one of the...
Is it?
Yeah, that's actually one of the predictions. I think I put 36 to 40.
That's a lot. You really think that many? I could see it easily being closer to like 20.
Well, I did not expect people are bringing out Timbersaws. I did not expect people are bringing out Tinkers, which is a hero that sometimes go unpicked throughout.
Goes unnoticed, yeah.
So
Bloodseeker certainly one of them.
Bloodseeker, yeah. So I said 36 to 40, and I'm regretting that choice.
36 to 40. I think it'll be much closer.
I think
like
more
10
like
to
25
20.
to 30.
20-ish.
You're gonna have unpicked.
This is where you should bring up the hero list. But I mean, we can table that thought. Just stimulating discussion. Anyway.
I mean, let's like Draw Ranger. She's not gonna get picked, right?
Sniper. No, I think Ursa could. Troll's not. Well, a lot of these heroes aren't in CM, so I don't think we can. Are we counting heroes that aren't in CM?
I don't think they are automatically counted. I'm not sure actually.
Yeah. Centaur.
Omni
doesn't
Knight
count.
is not gonna get picked.
I think Tusk will get picked. Zenith will pick him at some point.
Sure. What happened to the Brewmaster? He's actually really powerful.
Well,
We just simply forgot about him.
the one we saw a lot more Brewmaster when we saw a lot more Lone Druid, because he's really good against Lone Druid and he's great with him.
He's also really good against Luna.
Yeah. We haven't seen much Luna. Luna actually might end up going unpicked.
Nah,
Almost
LGD,
unpicked.
LGD International will pick him.
Yeah,
What about Undying? I don't think anybody will pick him.
DK?
DK
like their Crystal Maid
some-
Undying?
yeah,
We'll see
sometimes.
We've seen Scarth Mage.
Skeleton King?
Alliance will pick Ogre Magi. I mean, we're just going through the whole hero pool. We should cast the draft limit.
I mean, it's
We should-
standard. I'm just saying.
It's pretty standard here, but we do see a Chen coming out from Zenith, so
Okay.
more jungle from them.
How
But
is their Chen? You're using their Chen a lot more than I have.
X Freedom is a decent jungler. I don't view him as like an extinct or an explosive, super high impact jungler, but he's solid.
Okay.
I think he still plays jungle for them.
I mean, this team has been swapping roles a little bit, so maybe not.
Gunrun wants Sand King. You'll see Sand King, don't worry.
Yeah, Sand King is...
Just wait for Orange. Orange will pick Sand King every game. Gunrun
They
better be...
They better be picking Sand King every game. Also,
Isn't Gunrun part Pinoy?
I
He
don't
should
know.
be a Zenith fan, because X Freedom's half Pinoy. Is he the only Pinoy representative?
Jails.
not a TI3. Well, he's not playing. I think X Freedom might be the only Pinoy player at TI3. Okay. Ubosyan, X Freedom, Ubosyan, get your act together. Your team needs your help now. It is game 2, of
That
course.
sounds like a superhero call, man. It's like, we need your help. X Freedom, please. And what kind of superhero name is that? X Freedom. That's a pretty cool one, right? Now, Ventusur is going to get the selection here, and there is a ton of minus armor. And minus armor is the way to deal with Weaver. It's a way to deal with Lifestealer. And by gone, we have stuns on this lineup. We have Alchemist, we have Venge.
So Fnatic have a really good laning lineup. But what Zenith have, I think, going their way are some good counters to them. Chen is great against Visage. We've talked a lot about this because Visage has no AoE to stop pushes. Visage wants to lane against support so he can try and blow them up. Chen won't be in the lane. And he can't really punish a creep dive. You can maybe Grave Chill one. That's about it. Razor can be fantastic against Lifestealer in the laning stage as well. Alchemist can really scale well if it turns into a farming war. I think the Zenith draft, way stronger.
Yeah. It's well, at the same time, you also didn't give away a Wisp, which enabled a lot of different strategies. They also banned out some of the more dangerous heroes like Timbersaw, so I think this is a little bit more of a standard game. And when games are more standard, I think Zenith has a lot better chance of winning the draft and the game.
Yeah, as much as we all love and know and love Zenith for their crazy picks, ultimately, I think they're best when there's something a little bit unusual, but they still have, you know, a synergy in mind, a strategy. And obviously, this Venge pick is helpful here. They needed some way to cancel Black Hole. They do get it now. They also pick up a Windrunner.
Okay.
Great hero against Lifestealer. Great at kiting him. You have some good counter push as well to deal with Enigma. And they need a little bit more AoE. I think this is a pretty strong and well-rounded Zenith draft.
Yep.
Something they did not have last game.
And the question now remains is, what is Honey playing? Because we don't see a solo mid just yet. Razor does quite well against a lot of solo mid. Are we seeing a Weaver mid lane to kind of just dodge away from that static link? It can be. And I think it... Well, no, it's going to be Honey Clock mid. Doesn't he just get owned by Razor? Or do you just cog once he links you and just run away?
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, Clockwork shouldn't die to Razor, but
I mean,
Razor
you get
should
zoned out.
FCS him.
Yeah, you get zoned out quite a bit.
I think. I mean, I would be surprised if it's a Weaver mid because Trixie's been taking it off lane every game. So I think it's an off lane Weaver. Maybe. Yeah, it looks to me like off lane Weaver, mid clock. Who knows where Fly's going in the jungle, and then probably a safe lane. Arrow Lifestealer. Oh boy. I mean, as much as I like Zenith's draft, they did give away Arrow's Lifestealer again, and we have seen what you do, or what they can do if his farm is left unchecked.
Well, they're thinking about pushing right from the get-go. You see Lifestealer picking up by bringing protection, but we'll talk about that a little bit.
You've already lost.
Wow.
57 heroes.
We only had like 20 matches.
Beautiful. I think it could be 10
I'm
to 20.
actually I'm happy to wrong because I want to see more heroes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we all do.
Well, let's
Now,
go into
some
it.
of them are not picked for a reason. Like, we saw that with Bloodseeker. I mean, that hero, very, very niche pick at best.
Their pick for the hype, but let's introduce the teams here. Fnatic on the dire side, they are 3-0, one of the few teams that are completely, well, actually, one of the many teams that are undefeated so far here. No Tail's going to be playing our Visage up top. We do have the Lifestealer being handled by Era, one of his really signature heroes. We do have Trixie on the long lane Weaver. Clock is going to be handled by mid on Honey. Last but not least, you see Fly standing over here. He's waiting for to deny a mid creep with his conversion, and he's playing on the Enigma.
Yeah, on the side of Team Zenith, you've got your Singaporean Malaysian mix. The Southeast Asian boys looking for their second win, currently 1-2 in this group. XY on the off-lane Windrunner. He started with 6 tangos here. We're not going to see that Navi strat of just quelling blading the creeps and then right-clicking the Ancients, which I think is worth going for as an off-laner. But he thinks he can get something out of the lane. Let's see if he's right. Yamate will be on that Razor. A little bit of a skirmish at level 1. Arrow will get a DD. No Tail already Grave Chill online. They think they can go on this, but he does have boots, so I'm not sure about that. Towards the bottom jungle, we've got X Freedom playing that jungle Chen. We'll have Ice 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 on the Alchemist, and that leaves Ice on the Venge. And I just want to point out, Trixie's up to something. Hiding in the trees, looking for some free experience.
I mean,
He really is. It really is a cockroach, just a parasite.
He is gonna get free XP regardless, because I mean, there's Vengeful Spirit. You should be able to dodge that magic missile. Although with that said, Ice does have Sentry Ward. And speaking of it, if you look at this Chen, poor Chen is just—he's actually filthy poor because he has pulled 3 sets of regen, 2 for Yamate on the mid lane, and then 1 for the Windrunner up top because these guys all have win boots first.
So that top lane, actually, I guess it makes more sense that XY is not doing the Ancients trick because they can't kill him without Enigma. They have no stuns.
Well, but Enigma comes, they're definitely getting that kill, right, at the same time, if you think about that.
That's true, but if he's coming, then he's not jungling. So we'll see. For the time being, with the boots first build, you can really just kite the Lifestealer constantly. You can always right-click him, and Era can't even go into harass. Often we will see that on the safe lane Lifestealers. They'll just walk up with the Orb of Venom and just right-click, but you can't do that against Windrunner with boots. She'll always be able to back off and plink away. So one of the best heroes to punish melee farmers in the laning stage in most cases, and so far working out.
Yep.
And the mid lane's working out for them as well. This is a matchup that the Razor should do very well in 6-1. So that's 2 lanes for Zenith that I think they'll get a lot out of. And as for the bottom lane, free farm Alk in the safe lane, Lumi. I like the looks of this game a lot if I'm a Zenith fan. I'd feel pretty good so far.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that as well. Trixie now harassing a pull a little bit. I think she even stole a couple of CS on those 12. Now pulling to the left. Yeah, Zenith really utilizing the map quite well. But this pull obviously is detected by Observer on the ground. So let's see what Fnatic could make of it. I think it really will come through from Fly. Fly has to set up some decent ganks with those Malefice. And hopefully could time it in such a way that those either Windrun or, you know, for example, in the mid lane, Yamate being a little bit out of position.
Grave Chill's there from No Tail, and XY says, all right, I'll just right-click you. There's nothing you could do. So they are jungling Enigma, and Fly's movement last game, I think, just broke the game wide open for them. So we'll see if they can find similar success from him. There's always the threat of him ganking top. The middle lane as a Razor with Clockwork here, I think you could actually kill him, but it's a pretty dangerous hero to gank, because if you end up not killing him quickly enough, he just turns around and kills both of you.
Yeah.
So I think that top lane is the place to go, either to push for Fly, earlier in Basilius is already up on Era, or even potentially to go for the kill.
Yeah, Trixie on the bot lane, he's actually just so damn scared for whatever reason because he's actually backing off from his own tower.
He probably should be, because Ice has a Sentry Ward. So if you just Sentry and you get that Alk stun or Venge stun in, then you're dead.
Right, but he doesn't see Ice anywhere, right? He's behind tower.
XY, this could be your first blood. There's a power shot. There's no way out for him, and he should be going down.
Well,
Wow.
They didn't even need Enigma.
They got in range for the open wounds. Didn't think that would be possible, but they did, and there's your kill.
200 range open wound from Era, gonna get that kill. And if he ever gets up to phases, oh, your Windrunner lane is done.
They do kill the Windrunner there in the dual lane. Still, though, you are free farming your Alk. Ice already 19-3, and he's going Battle Fury from the looks of things, Ring of Health. So if they can stack up some Ancients for him, they're still winning mid. They're getting farm on their Chen in the jungle, who's got a Wildkin. X-Freedom can get pretty greedy here, but they're going to lose XY again. That's 2 down for him. Windrun's still available, but look the body block they've got.
Windrun,
it looks hard.
Assumption.
There's your Soul Assumption.
Yeah, no tells waiting for that one.
I think this is where maybe you just go farm the Ancients. I mean, honestly, you have... Well, I guess you don't have the Quelling Blade, but maybe even let your teammates come and clear out those trees.
Well, so for farming Ancients, you have to use your Power Shot to blow through this particular wave of trees.
Oh, that's right. You do a Power Shot.
And then you also have to blow through these 2 trees. So
Yamate, I don't think No-Tail wants to be here. Uh-oh. 4-minute ruin. It's going to spawn bottom, though. Haste is there.
Yeah, I mean, Yamate's winning the CS war, but the way I see this particular lane, even though he has 10 more CS than Hani, Hani simply needs this lane for the EXP. Yamate needs EXP and farm, and he's not really getting too much farm, to be completely honest, because Hani's just running in and out, dropping cogs, just really being annoying. And I think, to be honest, he's actually getting a little bit more out of the lane of what he needs compared to Yamate.
Yeah, I think he's doing better for the matchup. Like, Yamate's winning, but I do agree that Yamate should probably be winning a bit harder than he is. Still, though, for Zenith, you have your tier 1 up top. Windrunner's died a few times, but XY, already level 3, he's been able to hold on to the tower. And I think that's really the big thing against Zenith. They're a lineup that's really built around chasing, diving, and hero pickoffs. And if they can't find the early towers, then going for those dives, much higher risk, lower reward type of play at that point. So as long as Zenith hold on to these towers, farm their Alk, I would like to see some jungle stacking, and as I go to check if they've been doing it, they've been very diligent. Triple stacks up there, Ice already 1-point wave of terror, and with Avenge as well as an Alchemist farming those stack camps, they are just going to melt.
Yeah. I mean, right now you see Chen is taking a stack of his own, just getting some EXP for himself. He's going to get quick level 6, or at least attempt to do so, and that's going to be very important in terms of making sure your hero survive.
Make it a hat trick for XY. This will be 3 deaths for him top lane.
Well, I think XY...
I don't know what his plan was, but...
I mean, getting away 3 death is already pretty bad, but he's also going to lose that tier 1 tower. I think the push is
and he's missing
right
like 2 waves of... He might miss two waves of experience here. At least 1, and he can't even TP into the tier 1. Because if he does, they'll kill him again. So he's got to TP to the tier 2. Honestly, I mean, he could even be... Even if he's not farming Ancients, he could be stacking them for the Alk, and then he can get the experience later. I don't think this is the best way to play the lane.
Yeah, well, at this point, I'm not exactly sure how you even recover. He's running right back in. The Malefice could actually hit on him. I'm surprised that Fly did not just let one fly.
Level 1 Fly. Oh, X-Freedom! Waiting at the regen rune. Hani's going to catch him out. Beautiful hook, albeit an easy one. He had a ward for this, and now... He gets the kill. There was
Meanwhile,
actually a Radiant
top
ward
lane,
here.
though, XY in trouble again, gets caught out by the Malefice, and yet another kill. 0-4 from the top lane.
Normally, to me, XY is the most reliable player on Zenith.
By far.
It's like watching TC on Liquid have a bad game. I mean, if anyone has a bad game on Liquid, it's rarely TC.
Yeah. Well, now they're going to try to get a kill on Trixie. Trixie running quite away.
He's in trouble.
There's going to be a couple more stun. Another Sentry Ward, just making sure they get that kill. But, I mean, I guess this game you say, Ice, you are the one man I trust to carry me, because he is doing quite well on that bot lane.
Yeah, Ice is really going to have a fast Battle Fury. 50 CS, 7 minutes in, close to perfect here. And they've got the neutral stacks for him that we mentioned before. Again, I think they can start stacking the Ancients for him as well. You want the fattest possible Alk in the universe. An early Shadow Blade after the Battle Fury, and then you want him to start finding kills around the map. Kill off that split pushing Weaver. Weaver will not have a fast Linken's. He'll be vulnerable. Trixie will throughout this game. There's lots of heroes that you can just solo kill, but the sooner you get the Battle Fury, the sooner you get the Shadow Blade. So anything this team can do to get him fatter, stacking the Ancients for him, stacking the neutral camps, that's what I'd like to see. It looks like they want to focus more on ganking, though. 2 heroes grouped up, X-Freedom as well as Ice, roaming through the lane and now heading towards top. They actually have 2 smokes here, so they want to finally give XY a bailout, and man, he's earned it. Yeah. He's had a rough game.
I mean, but you're ganking a Lifestealer. How do you make this gang? Era is getting baited perhaps into this particular... He sees everybody and rage dodge, and he could even go into the creeps, and well, there goes your gank. Era's going to be fine.
Yeah, I thought maybe they would wrap around and go for Hani mid, but even then, it's still a hard kill with Clockwork
here comes
having
Fnatic.
cards.
They're looking for the hook. There's a creep that's going to
Claps there. The hook's available. It flies. It lands. Hani really playing well, stepping his game up here. Great clockwork play from several players at this event. And Hani will deliver. Huge hook from him. We saw huge hooks from Trixie in our previous series. Once again, clockwork continues to be a force to be reckoned with for Fnatic. And here I was hearing that hearing that clockwork was dead, Lumi.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was dead. And nobody plays him anymore, but Fnatic